everyone, it's Varin Gill and this is my page, Sacred Journey with Varin. As you all know, I am a Vedic astrologer, I am a tarot reader, I am an energy healer, I'm a spiritual teacher, a psycho-spiritual healer, and my personal passion is actually helping women discover who they really are, helping women come back to the true energetics, the true meaning of being a woman, and to empower them to live a life from that space. The moment a woman steps into her power is the point where her entire family settles into their true being. And I believe this is the same for sisters, for mothers, for granddaughters, for all women, when they really sit into the role that these roles demand them to move away from, and they come back to their true essence, something magical happens in their lives. So that's what I personally love doing, and I combine everything that I know to create that experience for a woman. Now, today we're here to talk about the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse that is happening on the 21st or 22nd of September, depending on where you are. In Malaysia or in Bali, if you're there, it's going to be on the 22nd of September, very early in the morning. And other parts of the world where they can actually see a solar eclipse, for instance, the US, Antarctica, and the Greenland, and so on. If you're there, you will actually see quite a long eclipse for about 6 minutes of darkness, I believe. So a solar eclipse is when the sun is completely blocked by a moon, partially or completely. And this is a partial solar eclipse. So during the solar eclipse, the moon is going to be between the earth and the sun. It's going to block off the sun and there will be darkness. Now, this is once again an alignment of your soul, which is the sun, your mind, which is the moon, and the body, which is the earth. And this time, the mind, which is the moon, is coming between the body and the soul. So the messaging is completely different to a lunar eclipse, right? So the messaging of a solar eclipse is about listening to your body without the mind, and for your soul to be empowered on its own without feeling into the mind or the body. So these entities become completely separate during this time, and that can feel very jarring because our entire system, right? Your body is not just this physical aspect. Your body has an entire energetics around it. I'm about to help people learn how to read auras tomorrow. I'm so looking forward to it because we totally forget that when we see someone, when we meet anybody, it's not just the physical body that we're meeting. We're actually meeting an entire being, a being that has a mind, a soul, and a body. And all of these get empowered in different ranges depending on how much work me and you are doing on ourselves. So during an eclipse, it's a very sacred time because you can really empower your soul on its own. You can really come back to your body on its own, and your mind becomes this conduit that is sort of going through its own changes, but not affecting what can happen to your soul and your body, because so many of us are disconnected from the needs of our body, and so many of us are not aligned to our soul. So during a solar eclipse, even a lunar eclipse, during that period, that 4 or 5 hour window where an eclipse is taking place, it's a very powerful time to do chanting, to do deep physical exercises that feel like meditation, where you are completely in the present, like a dance or yoga, something that stops your mind, and it will really empower your energetics. The impact of doing this during an eclipse is, 10x, 100x, some would say, from a normal time. But of course, this would require you staying up all night. If you're in Kuala Lumpur, Bali, or if you're in other parts of the world where you can actually see it, you may want to allocate time to do that work for yourself. and see it otherwise. Yes, there are beliefs that suggest to us that we should not be watching eclipses. I would say it's entirely up to you. I'm not going to say yes or no, but the reason why is because the energetics are very, very powerful. If you're doing it in a protected space and you're doing it from the point of learning and only learning and not social mediaing or trying to people please and show the whole world how amazing you are because you can see an eclipse, that's a completely different energy. So check in with yourself why you're actually wanting to see this. It's very interesting, I agree, but really make sure you're doing it for the deep spiritual aspects that such movements bring into our life. Now, eclipses happen 4 times a year. There are 2 lunar eclipses and 2 solar eclipses, and in the odd years, we might even see them happening quite close to each other, but usually there's a 6-month gap. And a lunar and a solar eclipse will happen during a full moon for a lunar and a new moon for a solar eclipse. So they happen 2 weeks apart. Whenever there's a solar, there'll be a lunar soon, or whenever there's a lunar without a solar eclipse will be coming up soon. So they are defining times where we would see the changes that happen around this eclipse become where our life's direction goes for about 6 months of the year. And similar degree eclipses, for instance, if an eclipse happened 2 years ago that is on a similar degree, if it happens again, it will bring us back to that path. So eclipses help us realign ourselves to our destiny. When your mind, body, and soul is finally aligned, the eclipses bring us back to stuff that we haven't been dealing with, to stuff that we have been ignoring. We just don't want to go there. We find it too painful. We have to keep avoiding. It will really magnetize that. It will make, a volcano out of it so that you just can't ignore it anymore. You have to do something about it. It's kind of universe's way of saying, yes, it's time. Stop delaying this. I would say try not to get to this stage where an eclipse is what is making you do this. Do it progressively, maintain your emotional hygiene, but I know I've been there too. Many of us need that additional nudge from the universe to make the changes that we want to make. Now, this eclipse is at 4 degrees of the nakshatra Uttara Falguni. So there may be some relationship issues that are coming up during this time. Right opposite this eclipse is Saturn. Saturn is also at 4 degrees, is directly opposite the exact conjunction of the sun and the moon during this eclipse. And with Saturn there, Saturn is all about structure, is all about discipline, it's all about stability. And with it opposite the eclipse is forcing us to look at aspects of all of these that we have been missing or ignoring or just not wanting to go there. And there's so much happening in the public space during these last 2 weeks with regards to all of this. I mean, I'm not sure if you follow what's happening in the US, but one of my favorite show hosts, Jimmy Kimmel, was just recently sacked from his post because he's been talking too much. So there is a whole aspect of freedom that's coming up with this eclipse that is forcing us to look at where our freedoms across the world have been stepped on. Many countries in the world are looking for independence. Geographies are shifting. People want geographies to shift because they feel they've not received what they are due. We've seen major revolutions over the last 2 weeks in Nepal, in Japan, as well as in France, some major shifts. So this is calling into point all the old structures, all the old ways of doing things that no longer serve us, that is time for us to look at. And it can feel like the world is crumbling. It really can. There are many days I wake up and I feel, wow, I can't believe that just happened. And something inside me feels so insecure. But at the same time, when I look around me in my little quiet patch of the world, I am safe, I am fine, and my gratitude grows every time I remember how safe my body still is in this world, how lucky I am that I still have air to breathe, because there's so many out there that are suffering. So if there's one thing that these times are asking us to do, is reminding us to go even deeper in our compassion, even deeper in our gratitude, even deeper in our ability to hold space for all those turbulent emotions that come up during this time. Why turbulent, right? Why are eclipses turbulent? Because, as I said, they are trying to help us get rid of what we are too lazy to just go out there and take action on. And it can feel like someone spinning you down a washing machine. Yesterday was a really hard day emotionally because I had been avoiding many things that have been building up this week, that have been giving me messages to not do, to not get involved in. And yesterday my energy was really at that point of breaking. And I don't know if you're aware, I do daily readings every day on YouTube, on TikTok, and on my Instagram page. And the reading was so apt. It was anger, and it was asking us to dance. So a wonderful thing that you can do to release any emotion that's building up, to release any of that tension that's building up with all the political situations, with what's happening in the world, with what's happening maybe with your neighbor, you know, anything around you that's building up, that's giving you pain. Switch on music for 30 minutes, something you really enjoy, something you just cannot stop moving to, and move. It doesn't have to be exercise, just fun dancing. Call your friend, get them on Zoom, do something really fun and silly, and get out of your head. The mind is shutting off the sun, which is our soul, right? It's shutting it off so that the soul can do its own healing, the body can do its own healing. Your mind gets in the way of both of that. Try your best to see if this is something you can do during this weekend. Now, the wonderful thing about this eclipse, or any solar eclipse, is that it is usually very close to Ketu, the south node. And the south node Ketu is our past lives. It is our subconscious self that has been mastered in the past, that we're really good at looking in this life. So many of us have interesting talents and gifts, you know, from mediumship to creativity that comes out of nowhere. These are our past life talents that we have honed, we have mastered, that we can just share with people in this life so easily. But they do come with some nervousness, some old trauma that we need to work through. But the mastery of those gifts are there, right? And depending on where the south node sits in your chart, it will tell you what gifts that you do have, that you're here to share with the world. And you must share these gifts with the world. Do not hold them back. But during an eclipse, a solar eclipse, we are pushed even more to sharing these gifts, because these gifts not just heal us, they heal others. Eventually, Ketu, the south node, will make an artist out of all of us. Any gift that you have will heal someone, if not yourself. So share it, share it during this time, and remember, you are amazing. Have a lovely day, everyone. I hope that was helpful during the solar eclipse on September. The solar eclipse is happening in Uttara Falguni, in the sign of Virgo in your chart, as per sidereal astrology or Vedic astrology, not Western astrology. So here's a solar eclipse message for you from my Wisdom of the Oracle deck. What does the solar eclipse want us to do, to know? All that glitters. Oh my goodness. Can you see that card? All that glitters right now is a mask. It's an illusion. Remember, I spoke about Saturn and all the old structures, things that look like they've got everything under control. They're actually jittery and they're falling. They're falling. But destruction and newness is going to come with aspects that we cannot understand with our mind. We can only feel and honor and respect. So know that what seems like it's too good to be true probably is too good to be true. Take off your masks if you want the world's masks to come off. All the best, everyone. You know where to find me if you need some grounding, some coaching, some healing. If you like what you've just heard, please remember to subscribe, like and comment, and do share this with your friends. It will really help me stay interested in creating videos. Do check out my daily readings and my upcoming workshops. The one thing I would really like to share with women is a moon cycle workshop. And if you have any interest in this, I haven't decided on exactly when I will do it. I was thinking of the 24th of September, but these dates are getting quite difficult for me now. So if you are interested in attending a moon cycle workshop that will help you learn how to use the moon cycle to your body's advantage, please fill in the form below. I will let you know when I'll be holding something that will fulfill that need for you. Have a lovely day wherever you are. Many blessings. You have been through eclipses before. They happen 4 times a year throughout your lifetime. You've got this. Bye for now.